how Mostaf deals with it though as the lights go out, and he gets an absolutely demon start. Look at Mostaf go. That was a picture perfect launch off the line. Not quite, as they make their way out of paddock and up towards Druids for the first time. But a jockey good position, around goes Jamie Petters, tangling there with, who was that? Well, certainly tangling with a few of the cars further back, it must be said. Harley Connolly was involved in that, so was Riley Bishop. There is Bishop getting going again, but somehow out of all of that, I think Petters kind of going to kill Bend. The Grazzi Motorsport driver dropping down into 10th position, so Petters, I think, went through. Certainly Cruden and Bishop did. Of course, he was battling with a little bit earlier on. Harley Connolly down in 11th, meanwhile, has got Lewis Stannard right behind him. Now, Stannard started pretty well up the grid, didn't he? He was one of the drivers who tangled with Jamie Petters at Druids on that one. In fact, I think Lewis was the car in the middle of a 3-wide situation. He goes on the inside there, though, of Harley Connolly and makes a really nice move through Surtees. Not an easy place to execute an overtake, but Lewis made that look pretty easy. There. Riley Bishop just go through into 8th position. Car out wide in the gravel, and that's Nathan Jensen again, who has had a big moment this time through Paddock Hill Bend. In fact, he's pointing the wrong way at the bottom of the hill. Harley Connolly, I think, had been out in the gravel trap as well. Not sure whether they made contact or Harley was just trying to avoid him. Quite how Jensen was back ahead of Harley, I'm not entirely sure, because I suppose, yeah, he had just passed him, hadn't he, into Surtees. So Cruden and Harley Connolly, so keep an eye to that white car on the outside of row 1. Got a really good start in race 1-2, and we'll be hoping for the same now out of race number 2, which gets underway. And Mostaf actually didn't react all that well. Jamie Petters hasn't gone anywhere though, gets rear-ended slightly by CJ Morgan, and Jamie Petters is going nowhere, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But the driver who finished 3rd in race 1 is still not yet got fully up to speed. I think now he's starting to move, but that is an absolute disaster. Alexander Mostaf though has got the early advantage as we predicted. Jordan Taylor there going 3 wide with Riley Bishop and Harley Connolly up the hill towards Druids Corner, and Will Cruden in the middle as well. There's contact, that Palmer is sideways. That was off the bumper of CJ Morgan, interestingly, who goes on the inside of Levine Kishore, and now there's more contact. Around goes Harley Connolly into the barriers. He rattled off both Kishore and CJ Morgan, and it has all kicked off in the early stages here at Brands Hatch, with the championship leader involved in a couple of early race skirmishes. Up towards clearways we go for the first time. Lewis Stannard now at the inside of Nathan Jensen. That was robust, but he makes it. Yes, he goes through. Oh, but that is Nathan Jensen sideways. Off into the gravel trap he goes. It's been a lap to forget for Nathan, who at the start of this lap was in a podium place, and he will end it pretty much outside of the top 10. So Riley Bishop goes 3rd, CJ Morgan 4th, Sherrington 5th, 6th Cruden, 7th Taylor, 8th Levine Kishore, who was looking up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend, but thought better of it. And on board now, oh dear, with the triple 3 of Zach Palmer, and it all kicks off. Cruden is sideways. Palmer somehow, by the skin of his teeth, gets through, but Will Cruden, unfortunately, is the one who ends up pointing the wrong way. Jordan Taylor delayed in that as well, and that all just got a little bit too busy going through Paddock Hill Bend. They were trying their best to have an accident, in fairness, for the entire preceding lap, and now sees a chance to get up the inside at Surtees. He'll ride the curve through the inside. He'll ride the door of Harley Connolly's car. Harley's still there somewhere though, and really coming back at him into Clearways Corner. You sense that Harley is a little bit miffed at the way that the last half a lap or so has played out, and he's not wanting to give this 9th place away without a fight. Clearways through Clark Curve, another hip check. No, they just about avoid it this time. Jensen sits on the left rear corner of Harley Connolly. Of course, the next 2 corners though, right-handers, that meant 2nd place for the time being. Stannard, of course, he's looking for his first podium finish of the season. On course for that right now in 2nd, but with CJ Morgan, Riley Bishop closing in, that could now become the big fight, couldn't it, for the lower podium places. Mostaf is going to be tough to beat on his on the pace that he showed earlier on in the night. CJ and Riley just have an answer here for Lewis Stannard. We'll have to see. We're ticking towards half race distance now. To try and manage that tyre situation. Alexander Mostaf not particularly managing the tyres, though. He just set a new fastest lap on the previous lap, lap number 8, as we tick towards halfway. Harley Connolly now the inside of Nathan Jensen. This for 8th position. Connolly goes through. Zach Palmer, is he going to buy into this? Yes, he does. Goes for a gap that wasn't really there. Punts Nathan Jensen into the side of Harley Connolly. And somehow they're all still there the other side of the corner. They've completely swapped positions. And poor Harley Connolly, who was very much the innocent victim there, got shoveled back down into 10th place. But Zach Palmer, with a very aggressive move, it must be said, up the inside. I think both Nathan Jensen and Harley Connolly, maybe having words with him after the race. But but they all saved it. That's the main thing. They're all still going. And continue to settle the score over the remaining 10 minutes. Disappointed, I suspect, not to be up there fighting the podiums again here tonight. Zach Palmer, Nathan Jensen and Harley Connolly here just sort of separating each other ever so slightly. Their dramas a lap ago, although that looked like Zach Palmer getting sideways. It was Zach Palmer getting sideways and throwing himself into the gravel trap. So Nathan Jensen goes back through with a wry smile on his face, probably. So too does Harley Connolly, and Zach Palmer's parking up. So Zach deciding that this race is not going particularly to plan. He's going to pull over and watch the race with the marshals. Actually, to just get his head back into gear and put that all behind him. What has been so far, touch wood, a flawless performance. Back to 8th place here, Nathan Jensen and Harley Connolly doing battle, and Harley Connolly looking to get up the inside of Nathan here towards Paddock Hill Bend. Quite close enough, almost dips a wheel onto the grass there, actually, on the way into Paddock. Shout out to Luke Stintler as well, who's had a really disappointing night, hasn't he? But Stintler has had strong pace, and I'm sure we will see him on the podium in the very near future in this championship. Looks as though 11th is the best that he will manage again here, having lost all of that ground in the early stages. So more lap to go then at the end of this one for these two. Can Harley Connolly find a way through right on the tail as they turn through Surtees? Is there a gap up the inside into clearways? No, there isn't. And so Harley Connolly tries to make a gap by bouncing off the rear of the car ahead. But actually, we saw this a bit at Donington, didn't we? If you do get into the back of somebody, it almost just transfers your momentum onto them. It doesn't really seem, as long as you don't get them too sideways, you can really benefit the other car, actually, from those little bumps, even through the middle of a corner. And we saw that there from Harley, who just dips a wheel on the grass now, this time into Paddock Hill Bend, saves the initial slide, but then gets armfuls of understeer through the middle of the corner and slips out way, way wide of where he should have been. Last number of laps, but something happening at the final corner to allow Riley on to the podium. Jordan Taylor came home in 5th ahead of James Sherrington, Levine Kishaw, Nathan Jensen getting the better there of Harley Connolly, and that's the lapped car of Luke Stintler going around the outside of him with Cruton. That will be the final finisher in the race. For Alexander Mostav, that was a wheel perfect performance, really. Got the lead in